Okay, so you know that commercial. If you ever use like YouTube video, social media, then you watch those videos and you see those the commercial. There you are with your depression, and it's like you notice that if somebody was like give them the light of, like the time of day, and they're like, oh shit, maybe I should check it out, right? They're gonna go to the doctor. They're gonna get on this. Let's say it works, right? Then that's better. Just like at the end of the commercial, right? You're gonna turn on a video. There you are with your depression. It's gonna be like people are like, wait a minute, like it doesn't matter whether I'm depressed or not. Like it's always there you are with your depression, and you're like, oh, they fucked up. Like I mean, and their methodology or something is like a way that you wouldn't really want to go about doing this, but it works. So, I guess I mean you could say that even though it's annoying and it sucks and yeah, that's the pain in the ass, they got to do it, right? Because that's they got to do the commercial thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but we're not saying that. Like we're saying, like they eventually they got to knock it off, right? But I'm not gonna make anybody knock it off. I'm not gonna like say, hey, go stop it, right? But they will stop it. So how are they gonna stop it? And because, right, I'm not gonna go out and tell people, hey, man, they're doing this wrong and this is wrong, and you gotta tell them not to. You know what I'm saying? It's not that. It's like I'll tell them about this situation, and they'll be like, oh yeah, that is funny. Like you know what I'm saying? And then later on they'll be like, hey, Ahmed, like, hey, yo, there's Ahmed with his depression, like laughing at me. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it works. Cause we just killed the bullshit. It's we with between like the group of people I'm talking to, right? It's unorthodox ways than what is you would typically think that. Well, no, I'm not saying what you would typically think, because you probably know. What is suggested to be typical when you go to college about how to do marketing and how you should, like this, like the logos war. The logos war goes on, right? And it seems like it pulls the people like with it. You know what I mean? Because it's the subconscious. And your company, as a stock or an IPO or anything like that, as a like it's gonna be somewhat affected by that logos. The logo. I don't know if that's the same application, right? Well, it should be. But okay, so like how do you think Bacardi's doing right now, given the the not the coronavirus, but the rumors about the bat soup. The rumors about the bat soup is gonna just like it's like this isn't come on ignorant like that's alcohol. Come on, don't literally like that. It doesn't matter. People are just because like if would you if you were gonna call a cab, would you call a regular cab or would you call an old fashioned black and white checkered cab? And people see you riding around in that, and the kids were like, we rode around in the checkered cab today, the old style checkered cab today. You did something. You did something. So like um, that's going on. Um, and there are creative ways to. I mean, there are right ways to do the art, and there are improper ways. And I'm not saying like demonize the art because I listen to black metal. I'm saying like even there's like right ways and wrong ways and with that, and you could say afterwards, and I could see it in the logo. I could see it in because we just come up with goofy names for our exhibits, and that's kind of a lot of what it is, right? Then when you grow, then the names are less goofy, and you start to kind of tie things together in a way that you don't not doing the same old fashioned thing, like of just like coming up with something just to name something so that you can jump off of that project. You know what I mean? Because like you shouldn't really like you should really re reconstruct what you're doing before you jump off to something else. And so things like that, and then the mainstream media is there on that level. You know what I'm saying? Look at Bloomberg right now. Take I and me out of your vocabulary. Now I know that sounds nice and everything, but to get down to the bottom of like when communicating, you don't say you said this and And I only mean this, and because earlier you said that, and then like, because those are all projections. You just need to ask whether or not what I hear you mean or say, or is what I think you mean, and then you restate it, and you get the understanding. You know, yeah. But you'd be a psycho. Like they call you psycho and shit for going about it that way. Yeah, because then you change the subject. If you report to me a something situational, and I can't deal with it, I'm gonna change the subject, and it's gonna be like, oh, you're a vaxxer, and punch you in the face because you might have germs. You don't even you can't go to school. Like your kids can't go to school with my kids. You can't even tell them shit. You were like, yeah, John of God. Like there might be more women out there because you have to get people like that to sit down and talk about that because there might be more women in like caves and fucking mine shafts in fucking Brazil that he's farming out or some shit like that. And they were like, oh, alo, just try to invent some shit. Like, what the fuck? For all, you don't have to fucking take that banner up for anybody or narrative or anything. If you just like, oh shit, you serious? Do I hear you to mean this? Why would you be saying something like that to me? You could even do that. You're like, what? I don't know how I feel right now. You saying all this stuff and talking about that. That's just like basically you're just catatonic, and I understand. I understand that because catatonic could be like you can be catatonic if somebody indecent proposals you, but you can also be catatonic and guilty as fuck, right? So think about it. Like there's unwritten laws, unspoken laws, and we comprehend it before anything else, before you even want to doubt. Like all that comes later, and you know that's why we need mature mesmerism so we can make postulations, because that's all that a man can bring to offer his postulations. I can't really give anybody anything but reference, and that reference goes to a mystery system that will deteriorate as well. You know, so like as far as tangible that you can keep, like you can't keep nothing that nobody can give anybody anything, only a reference, and the reference is tangible. Or you can give somebody context to their um, position um, in alignment with you yourself. You know, like you could change certain things. So you would say it's in a paternalistic structure. It's not a degree. You don't need a degree. It's not a title. It's the context. The, you became a nephew or something like that. This kind of thing.